Hi everyone, hope you're doing well, being safe and being kind. Welcome to Terror by the Pines. I am your villainous host for this channel, Jason. So in this video, I'll be going over the newly released, fresh off the farm, Disney Villains Tarot deck. Spoiler alert, it is a big improvement over the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot deck. So if you have experience with the NBC Tarot deck, you know what you're getting with this. Again, this is still a half-baked, not yet fully developed tarot deck, but is definitely a step above the NBC tarot deck. So keep watching as I give my full review of the Disney Villains tarot deck and compare it to the NBC tarot deck. Okay, so let's dive into this, shall we? So it comes in this really sturdy hard box, similar to the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. In fact, later in the video, I will go over the similarities between the decks because they are put out by the same publisher. It is a box that opens like this with a ribbon inside. Going into the guidebook, it is a full color 128-page booklet, same as the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. The major arcana gets a full page of upright and reversal meanings. Going into the minor arcana, you get pretty much half of that. You get a paragraph of the upright and a paragraph of the reverse with a smaller card of the image of the card, rather. And they go pretty much through the same. I believe there is spreads. Yes, there is spreads in the back, so that's perfect if you are really into tarot spreads. Now, the guidebook I really enjoy. However, the minor arcana really do not get the love that the major and the court cards get. For some of the cards, I would really like to know what is the inspiration behind the illustrations. But again, mind you, this is a tarot deck that doesn't know what it is, if it wants to be a fully illustrated deck or a pip deck. And the minor arcana are filled with pips as well as some illustrated cards. So speaking of the cards, let's get into it, shall we? The cardstock is very similar to the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. In fact, I believe the Villains tarot deck is just a smidge bigger, but it's that smooth, buttery, matte cardstock, and it's very flexible. So it's great for shuffling. If you are a riffle shuffler, then you might damage your cards quicker, but I am over the hand, so that is okay with me. So this is the major arcana that I have in my hand. And as you go, or as you look at these cards, definitely you can see that the colors are very vibrant, bold, very villainous, very just really intriguing to look at. Love this Emperor of Sharkan, or I might have messed that up. But in the guidebook, the major arcana does get quite a bit amount of love in terms of what the card represents, and each major arcana is a representation of what the card means. So I really appreciate that. And the guidebook is written by the same author of the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. I believe her name is Minerva Seagull. I might have butchered that as well. But as you can see, the major arcana are fully illustrated, and even if like some of these do not make sense offhand, but when you read the descriptions in the guidebook, I can see how I can make the connection. And love this queen as the Judgment. And of course, the cardstock is this, I mean, not the cardstock, the card backings is this like purple wallpaper Very similar to the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. It looks just like wallpaper. A thing I did want to point out also is that the card backings on my deck at least, the Major Arcana has pretty much the same, I guess, the normal hue of purple, but I get into the Minor Arcana, they are different shades of purple. Hopefully the camera is picking this up, but hopefully you can see that each card is a different hue of purple, which is a little jarring if you are shuffling the deck and picking up the card face down. I have heard from other people that they have received damaged cards and then missing cards altogether. So I'm thankful that I have all the cards. None of them are damaged. I just have a deck where the Minor Arcana have different shades of purple on the back. Not a big deal. You know, it could be way worse. When you get the deck, the court cards are going to come first, which I don't mind. And I will point out that I am really happy that they did not rename the suits of the Minor Arcana. I did find that a little distracting in the Nightmare Before Christmas, where the candles were wands, presents were pentacles, needles was swords, and potions were as cups. And as you can see through the Minor Arcana, it is a mixture of fully illustrated images with some action-y sequences going on, and then there's some that are just pips. And the Eight of Wands is like the typical, you know, the 8 wands flying through the air. And I actually really like the wand suit in this deck compared to another suit in here. Here are the coins. And as you can see, there's like a variety of villains in this deck, which I'm very happy to see. Again, I wish there was like a villain in some of these cards. I always connect with the villains in, you know, the fairy tales. I've always thought they were the coolest thing in the world, and this deck remains true that they don't fail. So but yeah, I would just like a little bit more images, or like a person or a villain in these Minor Arcana. Let's go ahead and go into my least favorite suit of this deck. Now, love this. Oh, wait, where's my king? Sorry about that, folks. I did find the King of Cups, so bear with me. Now, again, the Cups is where I see that they really have dropped the ball. The core cards I really enjoy. I love this Queen of Cups, the Knight, and then the Page. But when we get into the rest of the cups, it just really falls flat. Of course, the Ace of Cups is going to be the generic Ace of Cup. So when we get into the second, it just feels a little lazy to me. They just really phoned it in. And the Four of Cups not getting the traditional meaning. And then the 5, very pippish. 6, very pippish, not getting the childhood nostalgia. 7, I can work with it, but again, it just seems really phoned in here. The 9 of Cups is a bit of a stretch, but we'll go with it, sure. And the 10 of Cups is 10 of Cups. So, as you can see, the minors are a mix of fully illustrated cards and then pippish. But the cups, I feel like, are really phoned in. Going into the swords, love Scar as the King of Swords. And the sword suit in general is my favorite suit. Love this Knight of Swords. I remember this movie in my childhood. I just can't remember the name, but it's just, I know what it is. So it's nice to see that nostalgia. Ace of Swords. 2, again, could use a person, a villain here. 3 of Swords is very traditional. Going into the 4, love this as Scar. I just wish the guidebook had just given a little bit of description of what the illustrator was really going for. And again, the illustrator for The Nightmare Before Christmas and this Disney Villains tarot deck is a different person. So yeah, going into the 7, I can see where they're going with this. The 8, the 9, I'm not getting very nightmarish card here, and then the 10 is very generic. So what I want to do now, I want to kind of compare it to the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. Now, off the bat, the Villains tarot deck is a step above the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. As an example, I pulled the wand suit from the Disney Villains tarot deck and then the wand suit, which is the candles in the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. Now, the purpose of this is to show how the Disney Villains tarot deck is a step above the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. I believe this was the first official Disney licensed tarot deck. Don't quote me. I'm not too sure, but if you know the answer, please let me know in the comments. This is just to show how I believe, in my opinion, the Villains tarot deck is more thought out, even though it is still a half-baked product, just like the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. So here are the 2s. 3, 4. See the similarity of the 4 having people on them. The 5 has 3 people on the Nightmare Before Christmas. The 6, the 7, the 8, 9, and then the 10. Obviously, I just feel like there's a little more thought put into the Disney Villains tarot deck. I know that this deck was pushed back a couple months, so maybe that's what they were doing, maybe re-illustrating some of the cards and listening to the feedback. So just another example, the 2 of Potions, or the Potion suit in the Nightmare Before Christmas, and then going into the Cup suit. So we have the 2, 3, and the Cup suit and the Disney tarot is just, I just think is just really lazy. But it's not as bad as the Nightmare Before Christmas. Actually, on second thought, it could be on the same level, actually. And going into the 10. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, this helps you see that these decks are very similar. If you have the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck, you know what you're expecting with this one. I personally really enjoy it more so than the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. If you enjoy Disney, you like what you see, you don't mind a deck that is a mixture of pips and, you know, fully illustrated cards, then you're gonna dig this. So let me know in the comments below if you have this deck. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear it. I appreciate you watching this video, and until next time, I will see you for Tarot by the Pines.